What is up, woke family? It's your boy Wokey Bucks, and I'm back again with another live stream. So the topic that I'll be discussing this live stream now is in regards to an unfortunate situation in which occurred in Tulsa, Oklahoma last night. Right, the situation involving a gunman murdering three people at a St. Francis hospital. Right, and then he ended up committing suicide. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna say the word because of YouTube guidelines, but he ended up offing himself. He ended up deleting himself after he murdered three people in a hospital. Right? We're gonna go into watch the video now, but like I said before, this is just a sign for people to really realize, right, that I'm not against people having guns. What I am against people having guns without having a proper background check, because there's a lot of crazy people in this world, and there's a lot of demonic activities that are happening. We're going to get into this video, and then from there, I'll give you all my thoughts. So let's get into it, man.
Live breaking news.
We begin with another mass shooting. Breaking news, at least 4 people dead, several more wounded after an apparent mass shooting on the campus of a Tulsa, Oklahoma hospital.
Police and federal agents have locked down the area and are sweeping one of the medical buildings now, trying to rescue those who were shot. Eyewitness News reporter Christian Cordero is live in the newsroom and joins us with what we know so far. Christian.
Well, Giovanna, Mark, perhaps the most urgent thing we know is that the shooter appears to be dead. Tulsa officers' initial information leads them to believe there was one primary shooter, that he or she was either shot by police or that they shot themselves. This is happening in the southeast part of Tulsa, Oklahoma, at a medical building on a hospital campus.
This just goes to prove my point even more. And rest in peace to those who were murdered by this gunman. I keep saying it, right, woke family? We are living in unprecedented times. One of the things that I did tell you guys in the beginning of this year, or even before this year started, is that there's going to be a lot more deaths. There's going to be a lot more people that are going to be taken out, and it's sad, right? But we have to understand that we live in a demonic world right now. Now, is that okay? Am I saying that it's okay for him to do that? No. What he did is unacceptable. We all know that. But I'm just telling you why things are happening, right? A lot of people are angry. A lot of people are unhappy. A lot of people are mentally not in the right place, spiritually not in the right place. And when you're not in the right place spiritually, you know the devil is going to use it to be able to carry out his tasks, right? A lot of people are not, so they're not mentally in the right spot. They're not spiritually in the right spot. They're not emotionally in the right spot, because anybody that thinks from a rational and logic perspective would not want to do these things. You feel what I'm saying? It's just unfortunate, man. And then when other countries look at this country and think that this country is all perfect, they don't realize that we have our own problems. These are one of it. Within the past 3 weeks, there have been at least 3 mass shootings. Last week, it was the 18-year-old kid who basically went to go murder the people in Uvalde, Texas. It was literally almost a week ago, I believe. No, a little bit over a week ago, right? I believe the week before or 2 weeks before that was the grocery shooting in Buffalo. I keep saying it, man. We're living in demonic times, bro. So it literally takes us as human beings to really be able to wake up and see the truth for the way it is. This is just heavily unfortunate, bro. And only God can really be able to save us at this point, because unfortunately, things like this are going to continue to happen until somebody, a masculine men step up and say enough is enough. Enough is enough. Let's continue, man.
People on the ground there describe it as controlled chaos. You can see, of course, by the number of patrol cars that have now responded. Police received calls of a man walking with a rifle there earlier today, and when they entered the building, officers found victims. They focused.
So this is my question. You heard how they said that the man that was armed, right, the gunman, was walking to. Why wasn't he stopped before he got to those people and murdered them? Let me say that again. Why was he not stopped before he got to those people and murdered them? Those are innocent lives, godly lives, who were just taken out by death by Satan and his demonic forces. That's exactly my point, right? That's exactly my point. Why was he not stopped? Let's continue.
On the second floor of that building where the shooting was taking place. The gunman appears to have injured and killed people. The number could change, but right now police are reporting 4 people are dead, including the suspect. As many as 10 people are injured. This is a
10 people are injured. Oh my gosh.
Story medical complex. So right now officers are going floor by floor, room by room. The entire surrounding campus is locked.
No, I'm generally curious, right? And I don't say this from a point of anger, but I'm just being honest, right? Are there no security guards that are armed at this facility to be able to ensure that the people are safe? Because that's a serious issue. If there were armed security officers, if there were police officers on the scene, this would have never happened. And even if there were and they weren't on duty, why? How do you guys just allow an armed suspect to come into the facility and murder innocent lives, bro? Like, I'm gonna keep it a buck. Like, that's crazy. You feel what I'm saying? Like, that's just it's insane to me. Why? Because it's like, I don't see why anybody would allow that to happen, especially if they're armed and they can protect people. Police officers, you're called to protect. You're called to protect people. Security guards, same thing, armed or unarmed. I feel bad for the people who are unarmed, but if you're armed, you're called to protect people. You guys should have never let him cross the entrance. The minute you saw him, either if you warn him and tell him you got to stay back before I have to shoot you, or you call the police and allow them to take control, because this should have never happened. Based off of the things that are being described, you feel what I'm saying? Like, it's very, very sad. These are innocent lives that are being taken away. May God have mercy on this country. May God have mercy in the world, bro. We are living in demonic times. That's why we have to become woke, because times are getting a lot more dangerous, bro. Let's continue.
Lockdown.
We're trying our best to navigate through every single floor. We're having some difficulties getting through some locked doors, but we're locking floor by floor down, and we're bringing more and more officers in here so we can safely clear the entire building.
We're hearing the suspect may have told people he is looking for a Dr. Phillip on the second floor. There are, of course, a lot of questions right now that our ABC News team is working to answer. We know, though, that you likely still have Buffalo and Uvalde on your mind. This is, according to the research group Gun Violence Archive, the 20th mass shooting since the one at Robb Elementary last week.
They said that this is the 20th since Robb. So this is the 20th since the Uvalde, Texas one. That's being recorded in the country, right? And that just goes to prove my point, man. That just goes to prove my point. We're not in safe times. We are not in safe times at all. So it takes us as being people that are woke to be able to really wake up to the stuff that's happening. It's just unfortunate, like I said, that these people that were innocent lost their lives to gun violence. And we pray that they honestly rest in peace. But at the same time as well, too, the people, especially in this country, that are quote unquote leaders, this is your opportunity to step up big time. People are dying. People are dying. Innocent lives are dying. And you have to understand, when it comes to the lives of the innocent, their soul does not rest until they seek retribution. So all these innocent lives that are being deleted off this earth, their souls are at anger. They're not in peace. They're not at peace. You don't want, again, I'm talking about the senators, I'm talking about the politicians, I'm talking about the president, the governor. The House of Representatives, right? The Congress. You don't want it to allow it to be the situation that it's going to be a last minute resort effort before, like, these things stop happening, because this is a serious issue. If you don't think this is a serious issue, I don't know what to tell you. The only reason why you might not think it's a serious issue is because it has nothing to do with you or your family, bro. This is serious, man. People are losing their lives every single day. You guys have to step up, man. We need a masculine leader to really take charge. If none of you guys consider yourselves to be masculine, then you guys have to step to the side, man. But if you really do consider yourself to be masculine and you're being led by the Most High God, you got to take control now. This is the third mass shooting that at least I've heard of in the past 3 weeks. 3 to 4 weeks, this is an issue. It's like every week now. And it's not going to stop, because people, unfortunately, more mentally sick people, more spiritually sick people, more emotionally sick people are going to continue to see this and try to do their own thing. Only God knows where it's going to be next. Last week it was in Texas, now it's in Oklahoma. Who's to say it won't be in California or it won't be in New York? Y'all have to step up on this, bro. Y'all literally need to step up on this. This is a serious issue. People are losing their lives, bro. And the thing is that they want you to make it seem like it's okay. Then next thing you know, what they're going to try to do is keep you distracted by promoting other viruses. You know what I'm saying? That's what they're going to try to do, right? They're going to try to promote other sicknesses that are going to try to get you off of this situation because we're living in the matrix. So anything goes. But we as woke members of the Most High are able to see the truth, and we speak the truth. So let's continue to speak the truth and stand on the truth. If you understand, it's because you're woke. If you don't understand, you're not woke. This is going to be in this video. This is going to be in this live stream. If you like this live stream, make sure you go spam that like button, leave comments, share this live stream with your friends. Subscribe to the channel at Woke Ebucks, WOKEEBUKS. Tap the notification bell to get all the latest videos that I post. Patreon link will be down in the description below, and so will social media links. So make sure you go give those a check. But without further ado, this is coming into this live stream. This is Woke Ebucks. Hold on one second, guys. I keep saying it. I keep saying it. Yeah, gun violence is definitely not the answer, right? And it definitely is a problem. People don't realize it. You feel what I'm saying? And it's heavily unfortunate. It's heavily unfortunate, right? As we can see the situation right now, right? So many people have lost their lives. They think it's a game. They think it's a joke, and the reality situation is that there are innocent lives being lost as a result of this. So if we as people don't wake up to the things that are going on, these things are going to continue to happen. You feel what I'm saying? It's heavily unfortunate. And the sad part is, like I said before, people are going to continue to suffer as a result of gun violence. This is the third mass shooting we're seeing in literally 3 weeks, according to the video that we watched earlier, or that we went through earlier, right? One of the news reporters basically said that this is, and I'm not even a fan of the news. I generally tend to stay away from it because a lot of it is very biased. But at least in this situation, this is the 5th mass shooting ever since last week in Uvalde, Texas, with all of the children from Robb Elementary School. We have to really start waking up to everything that's going on. They don't want you to be woke. They don't want you to see the truth of the way it is. You really have to start seeing the truth and really start questioning everything that's going on, not only in this country, but in the world. We're living in the matrix. They don't want you to be woke. They don't want you to see the truth of the way it is. They want you to be blinded to everything that's going on. You feel what I'm saying? It is what it is, bro. But it's like, we have to do better as people. We have to stand up to the politicians. We have to stand up to the leaders. Now, obviously, I know that they're, to an extent, puppets to the bigger forces like Bill Gates or Jeff Bezos and all the other guys, right? But the reality situation is that if there are any, like I said again, if there are any masculine leaders in this country and they call themselves masculine, they're being led by God, you guys have to step up to gun violence, bro. This is an issue. Now, like I said before, if you're going to obtain an armed weapon, I'm not advising against you not having one. What I'm advising against is you giving it to the people that are not mentally okay, that are not spiritually okay, that are not emotionally okay, and they're going to take out innocent lives. That's where the problem is. But if you have a armed weapon in order to be able to protect yourself, that's a completely different situation. That's not the situation that happened tonight, because he had no reason to protect himself if he went to go murder at least three people. At least 10 people are injured. And I don't know if out of the 10, 3 of those people are the ones that passed away because of gun violence. So one has to really start to question everything that's going on and see the truth the way it is. There are a lot of things that are going on right now in this world that are really questionable, right? We as woke members of the Most High, we see that it's obviously a plot by the devil in order to be able to keep people in a state of depression, to keep people in a state of sadness. But we got to wake up to these things. We got to see them for the way that they truly are and continue to move accordingly. Because if not, it's only going to cause more depression. It's only going to cause more sadness. It's only going to cause people to become more angry. It's only going to cause people to revolt more. Don't be surprised if we see a civil war happen again in this country because of gun violence. Don't be surprised again if we see it happen because of race. All right. We talked about the situation earlier tonight when it came to Amber Heard, right? They tried to, one of the people which I reacted to in an earlier live stream. We're not going to talk too much about it on this live stream because we want to be able to separate them to an extent. But it was a situation that the person who created that post tried to relate Amber Heard losing the trial to black women. And I said, they're two different situations. Leave them separate. Because that's exactly what causes issues, right? Black women have nothing to do with that situation. That's all I will say. You know what I'm saying? So, reality of the situation in regards to the gun violence situation tonight, or as of last night, it's just unfortunate, man. And the sad reality is that things are going to continuously happen like this unless somebody steps up. Hold on one second, guys. That's exactly my point. You feel what I'm saying? I definitely agree with you, Woke One. You, like I said, you're basically adding on to my point. That's exactly why people who obtain guns, they need to be background checked. They need to definitely be background checked to be able to make sure that they're mentally okay. What are their past, what are their previous situations, to be able to see if they're mentally, emotionally, and spiritually okay to be able to obtain an armed weapon. Because if not, things like these are going to continue to happen. All right. If not, people are going to continue to die at the hands of people who are not mentally okay. And like I said, I did another live stream in regards to that, right? I made a live stream that talked about why people are murdered every day, right? You go to other countries, right, outside of the United States, a lot of these countries are third world countries. The reason you're seeing people get murdered every day is because of lack of opportunity. So you have people that employ people that are so, like, you see the wealthy employ the people that are in poverty to be able to carry out a mission to murder this person. That's one thing, right? Another reason people are generally unhappy with the society. There's no opportunities, or even if there are opportunities, they feel like the government isn't helping them a lot, right? So, with those that are able to get guns illegally, Woke One, right? And for the Woke family, there needs to be a type of process where they ban people from obtaining guns illegally. And for, like, I'm not going to tell them to go into people's houses and check to see if they have guns, but I believe there should be some type of record or file which the government should be able to look up if you have a gun or not. And if the government can be able to look up if you have a gun or not, they should be able to determine how you obtain that gun, right? That's one solution. And obviously there's many other solutions in which things can be done to be able to solve that issue, but that's just one to start off with. And obviously everybody else can bring their other separate ideas, but there has to be a way to be able to curb how people gain guns illegally. I definitely agree with that, right? Because obviously not everybody. Because think about it, right? Most of these people that are murdering these people, right? These innocent lives, they're not obtaining these guns illegally. We all know that. Now, when they do pass away, because most of these people murder themselves after they murder the people, you're going to check the fingerprints of the guns, and you're going to see that the fingerprints of the gun don't match the fingerprints of the person who owns the gun. So we know that already. You know what I'm saying? Now it's a matter of how do we curb how people are able to get guns illegally? We have to find a way. The government has to find a way, but it takes masculine men in order to be able to lead the charge, right? It takes people who know God and people who trust in God to be able to put themselves in a position to be able to take that, right? And I'm not gonna lie, you're gonna have a lot of people, not even only in this country, but especially in this country, right? Obviously, all across the world, that are going to be against that. But at the end of the day, it's for the betterment of society. Sometimes we as people have to understand some of our rights have to be sacrificed in order for people all across the country to be safe. But let's be honest, you have some people that are vouching for states' rights, and you have some people that are vouching for central rights, right? Central government's rights. That's what that and so when they said that that the country is called the United States, are we really united? When everything, think about it. Like, are we really united? Are we sincerely united? We're not united. They shouldn't be calling this country the United States. They should be calling it the divided states for to really talk about it. Because let's just say, for example, the majority agrees. You're going to have the minority that disagrees. Now, am I saying that everybody's going to agree, disagree? No, everybody's entitled to their opinion. But how are we really going to accomplish stuff if the minority can get in the way of what the majority wants to do? Let's really talk about it. Now, obviously, you're going to say majority rules, but majority isn't everybody. So like within itself, just basically goes to prove my point. So some people have to be willing to make sacrifices in order for the betterment of everybody. Man, it's a very complicated topic, but at the same time as well too, it definitely needs to be had in order to be able to ensure that people are leveling up, people are becoming better. You feel what I'm saying? It is what it is. There are so many demonic things that are happening here in this world, And if we don't step up, if we don't do something to be able to curb it, it's only going to get worse and worse and worse. Right? Like I was saying before, there are so many reasons why people murder other people every single day. People off each other every day. Lack of opportunity. Jealousy is a prime topic as well too when it comes to it. Jealousy. This is why I try to tell y'all, woke family, you really need to be careful of who you tell your information to, because you, especially family, you might think family has your best intention at heart, but those are the people that get you set up even more than people that you don't know. Family, friends. Start moving as an introvert. Now, am I telling you that, for instance, if you have a business or you have a YouTube channel, right, where you do entertainment videos and stuff, you can't post where you are? You for sure can, but if you're smart, do it after you've left. Do it after you've left. If you're going to post where you are and what you're about to do it after you've left. So even if people come after you, which you obviously can't control, right, because obviously as you start to gain a lot more, you know what I'm saying, people are going to try to come after you. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. Woke one, let me respond to you. You said gun control is needed. Is that sarcasm? Do you not think gun control is needed? Do you not think gun control is needed? Right? So when I say gun control, let me specify. When I say gun control, I'm talking about people being background checked, right? So for those who are obtaining guns illegally, there needs to be a system to be able to curb that. That's what I mean by gun control. That's what I'm saying when I'm talking about gun control. I'm not talking about people who want to be able to protect themselves. That's a whole completely different situation. If you're talking about obtaining a gun to be able to protect yourself, I agree with you, and I'm with you 100% on that. But I'm talking about for those who are obtaining it illegally, and I'm talking about those who are using it to be able to murder people. You feel what I'm saying? So that's a completely different topic. That's a completely different subject. I will never stand with those people. What's already a thing, woke one? Explain it to me. You know what I'm saying? There are so many different factors involved in this, so it's like one really has to be careful with the way that they move, man. Like, I'm not an objection to people gaining guns, but do it in a legal way where they can be able to check to see. Yeah, we know, brother. We woke one. We know that people can obtain guns illegally. And what I'm trying to say is, you feel what I'm saying? Yeah. So we're trying to curb that. You know what I'm saying? So my point is that I'm not an objection to people obtaining guns to protect themselves, but people are not gonna know that without you having gone through a background check. Because like I said before, you know what I'm saying? People right now at this point in their life, they're not okay. A lot of people are angry. A lot of people are not mentally okay. And I'm not trying to say it in a disrespect thing. Yeah, exactly, bro. You're proving my point, woke one. You feel what I'm saying? Stay in and listen for the thing, bro. I'm telling you, you're gonna learn a lot right now, bro. And it's love. People are not mentally okay, right? They're going through a lot of mental health issues, like you said. And like we all saying, you know what I'm saying, woke one and woke family? People are going through a lot of mental health issues. People are going through a lot of spiritual issues, right? They're combating between doing good and evil, right? And in the world we live in right now, we live in a very demonic world, right? We need a lot more God in our lives. We need to be able to promote positivity. People are angry. People are killing each other. You know what I'm saying? So with all of that being said, we have to put each other in a position of success. How do we do that? We have to help ourselves first. How can you help another person without helping yourself first? You feel what I'm trying to say? So there are so many demonic things that are happening, bro. So it's like, especially with the situation which we're talking about right now about the Tulsa, Oklahoma murder, right? Or the shooting, right? And that's obviously not the only one. You know what I'm saying? So people are not mentally okay. People are not spiritually okay. People are not emotionally okay. And this is my thing. I'm more likely than not, it was a man who committed the murder, right? So one love, woke one, and one love, woke family, you feel what I'm saying? But like I was saying before, situations like this, right? It takes one to really be able to step up to curb all of the things that are happening. But on top of that as well, too, we obviously watched the video earlier. If you haven't watched the video, you can replay it to the part in which I was talking about it. You know what I'm saying? You have to really be able to see the truth of the way it is. The dude who went in and murdered those people, he literally was let in through the entrance, bro. Why was there not a security guard that was armed? Why was there not police officers at the scene before it even happened? Let's really talk about that. You know what I'm saying? Because these are the things that are not going to be talked about a lot. People don't want to talk about these things because they're scared. You can't be scared, bro, especially in the world we live in today. So I'm not against people having guns to protect themselves, but that dude obviously wasn't trying to protect himself. And according to what the video said as well too, he was trying to go after a doctor. I think it was a Dr. Phil or Dr. Miller. I think it's a Dr. Phil. So that just goes to show you the type of world we live in, bro. That just goes to show you gotta be protected at all times. You gotta be protected. But then before you know it, unfortunately, this video is probably gonna, not this video, but the video obviously that we played in the video earlier, right? They're going to try to make this a race thing too, right? They're gonna be certain people that are gonna try to make this a race thing and say that if it were a black person coming in there with some type of guns, they would have shot him down automatically. Now, do I know if that's true or not? I don't know. I honestly don't know. I'm not gonna make any assumptions. I haven't even seen the suspect. But like I said, it is what it is. There, woke one, I bet you there definitely would be a decent amount, you know what I'm saying, that would want that job. So, or that would love that job, you know what I'm saying? So I can't really speak much in regards to that, but like I said, man, it's just unfortunate in the world we're living in, right? Last week we were talking about the Robb Elementary School mass shooting in Uvalde, Texas. All of those kids. And what do we reminisce to when we think about that? Sandy Hook, 10 years ago. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So it's like people are just constantly being murdered, and it's like there's nothing being done, right? So this is to an extent a plea to the politicians, man, the senators, House, Congress, President, all of you guys. If like there was actually something I watched last week. Steve Kerr, the coach of the Golden State Warriors. All right, and obviously it hit him different because he to an extent was affected in some way to an extent, not with this exact example, but it hit home for him. And something that Steve Kerr said that I think made a lot of sense. He said to the politicians and to the senators and to the governors and to the Congress and to the House, if it were your child, how would you feel if they were murdered? Because mind me, you don't know what type of impact, whether it be positive or negative, that these children could have had in the future, but their life was cut short, all because of no gun control. At least people obtaining guns from an illegal standpoint. So situations like this need to be controlled. Situations like these, like, okay. So if we're to talk about it, right, Oak family, it says so. One of our woke members said police officers are afraid to lose their jobs, so they hesitate. This is my thing. You're in a better position to lose your job knowing you saved millions of lives, tens of lives, 15s of lives, doesn't matter. You're in a better position to lose your job and go down as a hero than to keep your job and know you could have saved a life. It's about human dignity at this point. It's about human dignity. You knew why you signed up for the job. You knew why you signed up for the job. You signed up for the job to be able to help people, to be able to save lives. There was a clear opportunity to be able to, because they had on video footage the man walking in before he walked in. Or not walking in before he walked in, but walking in the vicinity. Nothing was done until he got up there and he started murdering people. That's exactly why I asked, were there no armed security guards? Were there no armed police officers to be able to stop him before he started injuring people, before he started murdering people? Come on, man. We've got to really start thinking. You know what I'm saying? So one of our other woke members said that I think the shooter's a black guy. I don't know, brother. I honestly do not know woke one. Obviously, within the next couple of hours and days, more information is going to start to come out. I don't know. I cannot speak on it because I do not know. But what I can say is that at the end of the day, I can't even also say that they were cowards too, because I don't know the full situation. What I will say is that at the end of the day, there were lives lost, right? People were murdered, innocent lives. And this is what I say because a lot of people don't think about it, right? I'm going to give you guys a different perspective. You have to understand that at the end of the day, when innocent blood is shed, the spirits of those that were murdered, their souls are never at rest until vindication happens. Right? I'm giving you guys a spiritual aspect because this is also a spiritual channel. We speak facts, but this is a spiritual channel, right? Our spirituality comes from God. When innocent blood is shed, the souls of the innocent that their blood was shed they are not at rest until they receive vindication. So as for that person that killed them, they're going to be tormented by the souls of the people they killed. Whether it's this situation, whether it's Uvalde, whether it's Buffalo, people do not play. And the worst thing you want happen to you is to be tormented by a dead spirit. You know what I'm saying? It's just unfortunate. The world we live in, man, it's very, very, very unfortunate. So we really have to really speak the truth and say the truth and stand by the truth. We're living in demonic times. So we cannot afford to not be woke. We have to be woke. It's a must. It is a very, very big must, man. I'm telling y'all, for real, for real. If we're not woke, then we're not going to really be able to see the truth the way it is. So at the end of the day, rest in peace to all the victims that obviously passed away. We do, at least here on this channel, we wish them nothing but the best. And we just hope for better days. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is, man. It's heavily unfortunate. And the thing is that this is not going to really be talked about as much as people would want it to be talked about. I'm not saying that this situation isn't going to be talked about, but the fact that gun control isn't going to be talked about as much. Because trust and believe, if it were, the senators would. You know what I'm saying? The senators, politicians, Congress, House, they're going to step up. And woke member, you know what I'm saying? For you saying that we are going to talk about this, if that's the case, why are we talking about another murder case right now? We just talked about Uvalde last week, right? 2 weeks ago, Buffalo, right? A few weeks ago, I think years ago, we talk about Sandy Hook. There was a massage parlor shooting last year. It keeps happening, and nothing is being done. So are we really talking about it, brother? Are we really talking about it? Or are we just talking about it and not doing anything? Because when I say are we talking about it, I'm saying, are we talking about it and trying to get something done? Or are we just opening up our mouths and trying to air out our opinions? From the way it comes across, opinions are just being aired out, but nothing is being done. That's why we need masculine leaders. That's why we need masculine leaders. Unfortunately, this country doesn't really have that much of it. The world doesn't have that much of it, right? We're moving from a country that started off with masculine leaders like George Washington, right? Now we're moving more towards, and this is no disrespect, but women being leaders, right? There's a reason for it, bro. There's a reason for it. It is what it is. So one really has to be honest with themselves and tell themselves the truth. We need masculine leaders in order to be able to put ourselves in a position of power, to put ourselves in a position of success. We're not even us in a position of power. Scratch that. But put this country in a position of greatness. How is that going to happen? You're not going to be seeing situations like this happen. And that's just the truth. That's just the truth. You know we speak the truth on this channel. You feel what I'm saying? It is what it is, man. Like, you're going to have certain people that are going to you can disagree with me all you want, but you can't disagree with the truth. And that's what we do on this channel, is we speak the truth. We don't have time to lie, man. It is what it is. One has to really start to be honest with themselves and put themselves and others in a position of success. The unfortunate reality is that the way that this society is heading, there's going to be worse things that are coming down the line. And you know what the sad part is? We're going to speak on it. The sad part, like I said before, situations like this, they're going to try to bring it up probably for like 1-2 days. People are going to try to become desensitized to it and move on. And then they're going to try to distract you with things like the MPOX. I'm not going to say it because you already know how YouTube is with a bunch of, you know what I'm saying? That is basically becoming the new, you know what I'm saying? If you know what I said, you know what I said, right? Where they're trying to scare people and saying that they're starting a new pandemic. You really have to start picking up on everything that's going on in the Matrix. It's meant to destroy you. It's meant to keep you distracted. The next thing you know what I'm saying? They're going to try to distract you with the NBA Finals, right? They're going to, it's Thursday morning, at least where I am right now. I'm in Eastern time. It's Thursday morning, 1 o'clock in the morning. Today's Thursday. Today's the day of the NBA Finals. They're going to try to brush past this topic and try to talk about basketball. They're going to try to brush past this topic and talk about the Amber Heard situation. Not saying that her situation isn't important either. They're going to try to brush past this topic and talk about so many other. These are distractions, bro. If you're not woke enough to be able to see past it, I don't know what to tell you. I do not know what to tell you. I really don't know what to tell you. And you're right, woke member, woke family, woke one. You know what I'm saying? It's only going to get much worse. So you have to be woke enough to be able to see the truth. That's completely up to you. I cannot say much. You know what I'm saying? It's only going to get much worse. So we have to stay woke in times like this and just continuously put ourselves in positions of success, or else we're going to be in big trouble. But yeah, this is going to be the end of this live. I appreciate y'all for staying tuned. You know what I'm saying? One love to the woke family, one love to the woke members. If you understand, it's because you're woke 100%. Entertainment is all distraction. We know that woke family, you know what I'm saying? And we just have to continue to build off of that and just continue to become more woke, you know what I'm saying? If you understand, it's because you're woke. If you don't understand, you're not woke. It's going to be the end of this live stream. If you like this live stream, make sure you go spam that like button, leave comments, share this live stream with your friends, subscribe to the channel at Woke Ebucks, WOKEEBUKS. Tap the notification bell to get all the latest videos that I post. Patreon link will be down in the description below, as well as social media links. So make sure you give those a check. Without further ado, this is going to be the end of this live stream. This is Woke Ebucks, and I'm out, man.